Good morning, my favorite students in the world. It is Ferdi from Event Photography 101. I'm the creator of this book. It is a great guide for beginners, and today's video coaching newsletter is all about the pain point of editing and having your photos look fake and looking very artificial. So let's jump into it. When you are editing, you want to be prioritizing your time around three key principles, and that is accuracy, subtlety, and consistency. Those three: accuracy, subtlety, and consistency. We want to be consistent with our subtle accuracy. That's another way to look at it. So let's jump into the subtlety. So less is more when we are editing photos. The whole reason why I got into event photography was because my dad was over editing the photos to the point where his saturation sliders and the vivid vibrancy the vibrancy slider was just way too to the right, way too high, to like plus 100, and the saturation was like plus 50 or so, making our skin look orange, like we have a fake tan, or like we've been eating a lot of carrots. And I was like, Dad, come on, that's way too much. That's way too fake and artificial. So that's what really got me into event photography. So less is more. We don't want to over edit and cause more panic and pain and back and forth and emails and you stressing about opening up and seeing the subject line from a client saying, hey, these photos look terrible, or they look fake, like, hey, yeah, great work, but I really don't like the edit. Can we just have the raws or something like that? Can we have the raw unedited photos? And then you feeling all bad and having your stomach just like, feel heavy, and you stressing out a little bit and just feeling anxious and feeling bad because of what you did, because you didn't practice the three key principles when it comes to editing. And that is subtlety, accuracy, and consistency. Okay. I don't want you guys to experience those things. You know, I've done it many times myself, of over editing or just having my signature edits back in the day be too over empowering. So yeah, just do your best to avoid those and practice. Okay. Getting other people's eyes and feedback on your edits before you send them through is a great way to discipline yourself and discipline your edit. Yes, you do want to bring over your signature style, because that is, well, it is part of your art and part of how you envision the scene and how you like to capture and edit and just create artwork in general, right? I don't want to change the way you inspire others, because it's such a beautiful thing and it's very unique to each of us. So yeah, so let's jump into it. We want to be subtle. We don't want to overdo it. When we do overdo it, cranking up that saturation or particular colors or this or that to the point where we're past the threshold and the client is thinking, man, just give me the raws, because it's, you know, they're envisioning, instead of me going back and forth with this photographer that has over edited the photos or the colors look off or anything like that, especially the skin tones. That is the thing that we need to be prioritizing the most, is the skin tones. If they are past the threshold and it looks fake, they're going to do a lot more to avoid the pain of you going back and forth with them in emails and this and that, blah, blah, blah. They're just going to say, you know what, stuff it. Just give me the raws. Just give me all the photos unedited, right? And that's a good indicator that you've pushed it too far. Yeah, that's a great indicator. So for you to get indications before you get into that stage, we don't want you in that scenario at all. Edit the photos by, you know, doing less is more. Okay, we just want to amplify and enhance that moment, that image. So we're just bringing out the best in that moment. We're not going past the threshold where it looks fake. We're underneath that threshold, that point, right? And for you to figure out that threshold and point, edit a lot of photos or edit an album and go to your parents, go to your partner, go to a cousin, go to a sibling and say, hey, does this look fake or not? Do you like it or not? Tell me why. And then ask them, what do you define as a successfully edited photo, right? Get that intel, get that data, synthesize that data and see what's overlapping, okay? What are the common denominators, right? Oh, it looks realistic. It looks accurate. It doesn't look like, they don't look like a zombie in terms of their skin color, or they don't, or they look like a carrot top or something, right? So keep it subtle, okay? That's the whole point of the subtle principle. Less is more. We are just enhancing the sliders, the contrast, the texture, the clarity, the saturation, etc., etc., ever so slightly. The more that you push those things, the more chance there is for your clients to come back and say, I don't really like this. Can you just give me the raws? Can you just give me the plain images and stuff like that? We want to eliminate any of those scenarios as much as possible, because that spawns negative word of mouth, and that's the most potent thing ever. It's like a skunk, like smelling a skunk. It's like woo, and that stink persists for days, and that circulates amongst their friends and family. And it's like, whew, this photographer, yeah, don't go with him or her. They didn't really get it with the edits. They just don't get it. They over edited and the photos look fake. They were great, but overall, they were good with some things, but they're not going to recommend you. So we need to eliminate those chances as much as possible. Okay, get them out of here. Go subtle. Less is more. We are only enhancing a little bit to the point where we're bringing out the best in that moment. Okay, so if it's a colorful first birthday, yes, we are more likely and more so going to want to enhance the colors, because that is coherent with that type of nature of the party. Whereas if we go to a formal gala or a corporate kind of thing, we're not so much wanting or going to generally enhance the colors. We're going to be enhancing the attributes and characteristics of that photo that amplify and enhance the formality and seriousness of that event, that scene, that moment. So the sliders need to complement the scene. The sliders that you're tweaking need to complement the goal and intention of the event. The sliders need to support the client's desires. What's their goal here? Is it to create a very memorable first birthday, or is it to capture candids, or is it to enhance their status, their ranking of status amongst their industry with their business photos? We need to know their goals and intentions here. Why are they hiring you as an event photographer to capture their event? Okay, we need to use their intentions as they help guide, like guardrails. They help guide your sliders. Like, how much can I push it? How much should I push them? Or how much should I reduce them? Maybe it's not always about pushing them to the right, but sometimes we're pulling them to the left. We're doing the opposite to bring back a lot of the busy elements of the photo so that we can direct emphasis to a particular subject. By pulling back the sliders, we can help amplify and emphasize the subject, in the coherent manner that's supporting their intentions, okay? Every party has a different nature and different goal and intentions. What are the goals and desires of your client? Are they status-driven? Are they purpose-driven? What's the nature and theme of the party? And does the color palette of their event match the color palette of the colors that you're choosing to tweak and use, etc.? Or are you just totally changing the hue slider of the blue so that it's just not coherent and it's not matching the blue of the party? They need to be consistent, because why? The clients have spent money, time, and resources, and energy and focus and attention for months and months picking the right colors for the balloons, so that they match the cake, they match the decorations, the details of the decor, and even the outfits of the guests, right? So we don't want to eliminate and shift their effort there. We want to amplify it. We want to bring attention to it, and we want to celebrate their choices and their resources that they've chosen to hire or purchase. And yeah, we're celebrating their decisions. Okay, so we need to not change the color of the photos. Okay, there's been quite a number of times where I've changed the hue of the pink and the red and the orange, etc. And then when they received the photos, they were like, those weren't the colors that I chose for the balloons. And these clients can be very, quite particular, especially if they're spending thousands of dollars on balloons, just balloons itself. So you want to respect that. You want to capture it. You want to be subtle about it, enhance it just a little bit so that it's still coherent with what they're wanting and the whole nature and theme of the party. And we want to be accurate. Okay, we're not changing the color that they've gone with for the party. Okay, for the event. We're keeping things accurate. We're keeping things subtle. But not only that, we are keeping things consistent amongst the whole album. There's no use providing an album and some photos are, accurate, and then some photos are not. Some photos are oversaturated and the hue, the color of the blue is aqua blue when it should have been like a deep blue or a green blue or something, right? We need to keep things consistent because we want to eliminate all the chances of them coming back and saying, I don't really like it. No. Keep it consistent, keep it subtle, and keep it accurate. Provide them the photos. Now, here are two more tips, or just one more tip that's going to help eliminate some of that back and forth and that negative word of mouth as well. We like to provide, as part of the packages, Kodak Portra 400 natural-esque photos of their event. So they're not only getting a signature set of photos with your signature style and colors and everything like that, but they're also getting multiple additional sets. So once I've exported the signature color of the photos, our normal Ferdi Ecta edit, I'm duplicating them, creating virtual copies, and then applying and editing with a Kodak Portra 400 natural, subtle preset and profile kind of thing. That way, they're getting signature photos with your signature edit, but also photos that are a bit more natural or have a particular style, okay? It doesn't have to be natural. They can have a particular style. And we also do that one more time with the black and white photos. So we usually give 3 sets: signature set with the signature colors and the preset and profile, and then a Kodak Portra natural-esque set, and then also a black and white set as well. So they've got a whole range of photos to choose from. And if they don't like one of the colorful signature photos, then they have the Kodak Portra 400 natural photo in the additional set that they can use. So they've got a choice there. It's still the same moment, but it's being emphasized and painted in a different way, which help provoke different emotions based on the different color strokes and colors that you're using. So there you go, my friends. The pain point of editing and the photos looking fake. Get the indicators from your peers, siblings, parents, partner, etc., friends. get them to give you feedback on if it looks fake or not, whether it looks good or not, and ask them on how they define a successfully edited photo. What do they usually do with their own photos on their iPhones or their Samsungs or whatever? Are they making it sharper? Are they just giving a little bit more of a punch to their skin color so that they look a little bit more tan? Or are they brightening their skin color and their skin tones? Skin tones are the most important thing that we need to be prioritizing and being sensitive about, because some people will like to have brighter skin, some people will like to have darker skin, and some people will like to have more orange skin or something like that. So it's good to be in sync with your client's preferences, okay? And it is totally acceptable and okay to ask them beforehand and during the editing process. Like, hey, what do you prefer? Do you want me to... here are some options in the email. I've got option A, B, and C. Which one do you like the most? Cool. We'll go with that one. Option C it is. Fantastic. And go from there. Okay. We want to make it. We want to make things easy and fun at the end of the day, because the more motivating it is, the better life is. Okay. sounds weird, but try and make it fun and easy. So be proactive about it. Show them some options or get their preferences and get their intel and data before you start editing, so that you know where you're going to be kicking the goal and where the goalposts are, okay? Where you're going to be kicking the ball. So, my friends, I hope that helps. Shout out if you have any questions below in the comments, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. And just have fun. Just have fun. Much love. You guys can do it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.